9 months of Shweta's pregnancy, wherein which doctors failed to alert her that her child was suffering from Down syndrome. It's being seen as a case of criminal medical negligence because the parents were not informed. 32-year-old Shweta, she delivered a baby girl. It is only after she was born that the doctors said that she's born with 4 holes in her heart. They were in a state of shock when they heard that. At birth, the consulting gynecologist, the radiologist, the pediatrician had all assured her that the baby was doing perfectly fine. So now Shweta and her husband have decided to file a complaint in the police against the doctors, but shockingly the police have refused, and this is along technical lines. Police states they're not going to be registering the case here because of the recent, just last week's, amendments to the KPME Act, which cannot hold the doctors responsible of negligence. Instead, the patients will now have to go and register a complaint at the grievance redressal cell. That cell is still not operational. Our correspondent Srija getting us further inputs on what options now do the parents have. As per legal advice there, Srija, what are they to do next?
Well, we did, of course, get in touch with the parents, grieving parents, as well as the close relatives of this particular baby. Of course, they are going through a huge trauma because, remember, we are looking at a huge gross medical negligence as far as this particular child is concerned. Also, the victim over here is 32-year-old Shweta, who delivered a girl baby at Narayana Multi-Speciality Hospital here at Whitefield. Of course, throughout her 9 months of pregnancy, in fact, the doctors, be it the cardiologist, gynecologist or radiologist for that matter, despite a number of 6 scans being conducted, or even for that matter, triple marker tests to in fact find out if the baby suffers from any disorder. Now, all these tests were conducted and the doctors completely failed to find out if the baby was suffering from any disorder. And once the baby was delivered, to their shock, in fact, they found that the baby is suffering from Down syndrome and has about 4 holes in the heart. Now, the doctors, what they're telling at this point in time to the parents is they've given them 6 months' time, which means that in the next 6 months, the baby will have to immediately undergo a surgery as far as the heart is concerned. But if you're talking about the medical negligence, of course, they do not have any go as far as this is concerned, because even the police officer, Kadagori police officer inspectors told them that they cannot take a case or register an FIR after the KPME Act has been amended. Now, clearly, we do understand the talks are still on as far as this Act is concerned. Remember that speaking of the redressal grievance cell, which is still not being set up, what they're looking at this point in time is to go through the consumer court, file a case against the doctor, is what we're given to understand.
All right, that's the option here that they have at this given point of time. Of course, of their immediate concern would be to treat the child as soon as possible. Srija, thank you for getting us those inputs there.